Video shows the moment the Georgia Guidestones in Elbert County blew up. This is surveillance video sent by the GBI from just after 4 o'clock this morning. Video also shows what appears to be a silver or gray car speeding away from the scene.
Wounded head.
Video shows the moment.
The moment. July 6th, 2022.
The Georgia Guidestones
At 4:03 and 33 seconds a.m. This is 32. Right before it,
crews demolished the remaining stones over safety concerns. If you know anything about the explosion, authorities ask that you come forward.
I'm wondering if it should be, what, first week of June? I put these in first week of June. Was it June the 6th of June, I think.
And these are a month behind you.
That's what happens in hell.
And these are a month behind you.
1 month behind you, John.
First week of June, I put these in first week of June.
Double up, June.
Was it June the 6th of June, I think.
Yeah, June 6th. So, June 6th, exactly 30 days later, is July 6th. And on July 6th, at exactly 4:03 and 33 seconds a.m., July 6th, exactly 30 days later, this explosion took place.
The Georgia Guidestones in Elbert County blew up.
So exactly 30 days after, Steve put those plants in the 30-day, and probably like June 6th for first week of June 6th.
Good evening, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live. Boy, gosh, I know it is late. 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the morning. The trip starts today. 1 o'clock in the morning. However,
and boy, I apologize. I did not get a chance to update you guys today on things that are going on, but I wanted to let you know our trip starts here in a few more hours.
So a few more hours from 1 o'clock in the morning on July 6, 2022 would be 4 a.m. Ish, around like 4 a.m. ish. So it would be right around 4 a.m. ish.
Video shows the moment the Georgia Guidestones in Elbert County blew up.
They showed that they blew up on July 6th, which is exactly 30 days after Stephen James DeShawn planted his plants. And we all know about the stuffed peppers, the 4 and the 6, the batch of 6 and 4, Ned Peppers getting shot up and all that back in the day there, like 3 or something years ago. So if that trip started on that exact day, 3 hours later at that exact time.
Right now, local, state, and federal agencies are working to determine who's behind that explosion.
These are a month and...
A month. So a month behind after planting those plants, which would be exactly 30 days.
Oh, I just want to say that we were there exactly 1 month ago, exactly 30 days before structures went down.
What is that? What'd you say?
I want to say that we were there exactly 1 month ago, exactly 30 days before structures went down.
Israeli News Live, July 7th, 2022. Georgia Guidestones destroyed by a missile. Well, it's up for debate whether it's a missile, whether it's lightning or like an act of God. Well, because either way, it's an act of God. God is God of the world, the God of this entire planet system and everything did it. So, and that same God's the one that created him, and it was his idea to put him up. Same guy took him down. So he's only destroying his own stuff. So relax, everybody. But 30 days exactly after,
10 days behind you.
then 10 days behind that, which means somewhere around the 16th of July, 16th, 17th ish. It seems like the next target, possibly over in the West Coast, because it'll be lightning striking from the east to the west. And even if it isn't actual lightning, it's still lightning strikes, because you'll see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. And in the clouds, there will be strikes of lightning from the east to the west.
John.
And we prayed with Pastor Dave and his wife, with Tim Ray from UI Media, with Dr. Eli English, and also, of course, the son of Pastor Dave. We all were there, circling it around and praying for it to be destroyed. So God takes it all down, because as everybody knows, this particular structure had these 10 commandments for death and genocide of humanity.
10 commandments. So the 10 commandments Ten commandments. Lightning strikes the tablets.
Started circulating that perhaps this wasn't an explosion, but could it have been an act of God? Was it lightning? And when you look at the tape, if you look at the upper left-hand corner, you can see the street light getting brighter. That's what happens when lightning strikes, and there's no fire or real smoke to be seen.
Now, the lightning theory would be that it struck down at the bottom and then blew it in that direction, and then the smoke from, stones, the dust. It's not fire anywhere. It's not actual smoke. It's just smoke from the tablet being split in two. With Obama here laughing at everybody as Babylon's falling, you got the 10 over here, and you got the lightning striking down. You got OVEVOL, LOL. So EV, LOL. Over here with the teleprompter. EV 101, LOL. 10 Commandments. Tablets being struck by lightning. F. Ten. FU. So there's the FU. 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 He's pointing at all of you. He's saying FU. George Bush is. FU. Pay me. Yep. F-U, pay me. The shark. Looks like someone's getting their head cut off. Yep. Head cut off, popped off, turned into Obama.
Video to make about the Georgia Guidestones. Georgia sent off race, Senate.
Set off. So Justin knew, along with all the other agents from the inside, that when the Georgia Guidestones are hit, that's the set-off rate, a Senate runoff race. It's running off with the Senate. The Senate's going to run off. That's going to set off the race. That's the beginning of here. This is where it is. The beginning of the stones will be turned one upon another, not one stone be left here upon another. The Georgia Guidestones. But at the same time, those that are from the inside, they are the living stones now, and they've been thrown down. The body of Christ. And so they're asking him, even though they already know, because they're coming to him privately, asking him, tell us, like, now's the time to tell us, because you know why? Many false Christs will arise. They're going to arise because the amount of things that are going to keep happening because of the Georgia Guidestones are astronomical, and they're only going to just start. They're just starting. So give it 10 days from the Georgia Guidestones, and then it's probably going to be rampant fire after that. July 9th, 2022. So it looks like the next target in the West somewhere, California, possibly, Hollywood sign or something along those lines. Like, there's the sign for you. On the 16th of July, because on the 6th of July, the tablets were thrown down. Moses broke the tablets. So many false prophets will arise and deceive many. But here's the thing. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will mislead many. So the one interpretation I heard Derek Brose say is that many are going to come in my name saying that I am the Christ, like, meaning I'm not, but they're going to come in my name and say that I am, and they're going to mislead many. I didn't quite understand that all the way, because if many come in my, so Jesus is there talking to them, and he's saying many will come in my name saying that I am the Christ and will mislead many. Well, if he's not the Christ, then who are they talking to? Then who is? Who? What is it? Is he the Father then? Is that the portion where many will come in my name saying I am the Christ and will mislead many? So then who is? Well, if who is a part of the organization, Christ is from the inside, then that would mean he would be the Father, and they're going to say that he is Christ, but he's really the Father. So they would mislead many. That's the only explanation I can think of that would mislead many. However, the usual interpretation is many are going to come in my name saying I am the Christ and will mislead many.
People are going to experience this, whether they believe it, like it, or not. And I want people to remember, brothers and sisters, too, that on 7/14/2022, July 14th, okay, President Biden is going on July 13th to Israel, and he's going to strengthen the Abraham Accords in this process of peace and safety. And remember what it says: when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction.
So July 14th, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction. 2 days after Biden goes and does some peace and safety talk. 2 days after would be 10 days after the 30th day from the time that Stephen James Shawn planted his plants. I know it sounds ridiculous, but when things take place, you'll understand how I figured it out. And I can't prove one way or another with any of it, besides it just happens. Now, Tyler Mullen, who is known as the Jesuits' vicar of Jesus, the Jesuits, the Vatican, they put him in place as the literal vicar of Jesus, and Stephen James Shawn is the vicar of Lucifer. In this planet, there's they're the two right there, the two names. So I'm not saying that Tyler doesn't possibly have a change of heart as we're going into the grand finale, because they all know, they've all been watching, they all know the script and what's going to happen, but they're seeing me unravel it, knowing that I'm not part of anybody. I knew nobody before I came on YouTube, just me and God. That's it. So I come in unraveling the script before their eyes, and I am flipping over these stones, not leaving one upon another either, because you're going to see who they truly are. Just like this stone here.
Runoff race. But I wanted to clarify this first. Been a liar from the beginning.
Here he goes. He's a liar from the beginning. Not one of these stones will be left upon another.
On July 17th, 2022, when Biden is going to be in Israel, the comment K2, which...
So I'd already said before I watched Tyler's video yesterday, I was doing the math, calculating that what SJ talking about 30 days behind you, John, like the Revelator, and then exactly 30 days from the time that he's talking about June 6th was the tablets being destroyed by, whatever, lightning, comet, asteroid, missile, bomb, and then 10 days behind that. So 10 days is lining up with what Tyler is saying. And these are all false prophets. You're all false prophets because you all have scripts and you have advantage in understanding what's going to happen. A true prophet would be somebody that can actually make true predictions that come true and not be a part of it. So many false prophets will arise, and they will come in my name and say that I am the Christ, and will mislead many. Now, I believe the true interpretation of this verse, and the one that's more dominant out of the two that I said, is, for many will come in my name, like the true apostles will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ. So that's what they will say. They'll say, I am the Christ, and will mislead many. They will deceive many. Why? Because they know the truth, and when they're coming in my name, claiming I am the Messiah and will deceive many, they're going to deceive the ones that don't believe the truth. Just like that beast that in Revelation 13, beast that comes up out of the earth, like living on earth. I saw another beast come up out of earth. He had two horns like a lamb and spoke as a dragon. So this is, many will come in my name saying, I am the Christ, the two horns like a lamb, because he speaks like it's the serpent's language. He exercised all the authority of the first beast in his presence, first beast whose head was wounded. See that wounded head up there?
The was unveiled in 1980 and has drawn many people over the years. The man whose company maintains the site says vandalism has happened before, but never like this.
I saw one of his heads as it had been slain, his fatal wound was healed, and the whole world was amazed. They followed after the beast. They worshipped the dragon. He gave authority unto the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who's able to make war with him? He exercised all the authority, first beast in his presence, and makes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose fatal wound was healed. He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down from heaven to the earth in the presence of men, lightning. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth because of the signs which it was given to him to perform. These signs were given to him so he can perform them, not act, but perform them in the presence of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who had the wound of the sword and has come to life. So that's why, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and they will deceive many. You are going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not alarmed, because these things must take place, but the end is not yet. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom versus kingdom. Here comes the various places. There will be famines and earthquakes, but all these things are merely the beginning of the birth pains, the sorrows. Birth pains is the birthing of the Christ Spirit publicly on the YouTube platform and throughout the world, witnessing to all nations. Many false prophets will arise and mislead many because they all have the world script. They've been given it. They've been given authority to prophesy and say that the Lord told me, which the Lord did, because they're talking about Satan. So it's not like they're lying. The Lord told me, gave me my script today to read. And because lawlessness will increase, which is happening now, the shootings at the festival, that dude on 4th of July just passed 5 days ago. People's love will wax cold. Gang Stalking Corporation people, if you know them closely, if you confront them about it, it doesn't go well. But the one who endures to the end, he shall be saved. This gospel right here of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. This is the window of opportunity, the greatest opportunity so far to date is with Moses destroying the tablets over there in the Georgia Guidestones. Woe to those who are pregnant, male-female system in those days. Pray that your flight not be in the winter or in the Sabbath. For then there shall be great tribulations, such as not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will. Unless those days have been cut short, which are these days now, no life would have been saved, no flesh whatsoever, no spark of life anymore. But for the sake of the elect, those days shall be cut short.
For his name's sake, his name is that office. For that office's sake, for the office that he stands in, for Christ's name, that office, you'll be hated because of it. Because you are bringing destruction to their world, because the enemy is trying to rise it up to an extent that you and the elect will simply not allow.
For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, because they will not allow it. And if anyone says to you, behold, here's the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, because they have the damn script, insomuch as if it were possible they see the very elect. Behold, I have told you before the return of the Son of Man. So if they say to you, behold, he is in the wilderness or the desert, don't believe it. Do not go out there. Or he is in the inner rooms or the secret chambers, inverted. If they tell you that Christ is inside of this secret chamber, and that's truly the meaning of Christ rising in you, don't believe it, because it's not. This is what's being judged right now. If you're thinking about going in this direction, as of right now, all I can say is don't do it, because it's being judged. Woe to those who are pregnant in those days, giving birth. For just as lightning comes from the east.
Lightning. And when you look at the tape, when news started circulating that perhaps this wasn't an explosion, but could it have been an act of God? Was it lightning?
So for just as lightning comes from the east and flashes even to the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. This already took place. Lightning flashes from the east to the west, from the east side of the United States to the west side of the United States on the YouTube platform, Son of Man coming in the clouds. And then now here we are in the literal form with the rumor of lightning that struck starting from the east. So here's the beginning of sorrows. Here's the beginning of the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Here's the beginning of all for not just the people from the inside who have been flipped over as now living stones. This is for the other group of people for the 42 months later. And so we're at this exact moment right here from the east, and then flashes even to the west. So when it's from the east side, you can only assume that it would be over in California, maybe the Golden Gate Bridge, because San Francisco and the Sodom and Gomorrah, and or even the Hollywood sign itself, or something over in that area there that gets hit again. And it may be this time straight lightning. It may just be lightning, and that's the only thing they're going to tell you is lightning struck it, and they'll show you the full footage and not just a portion of it. Wherever the vultures are, the corpse is, there the vultures will gather. The corpse is a dead, something that's dead. So wherever there's the carcass, so if they're looking for Christ in the desert or in the secret chambers, they're looking for a corpse, well, there the vultures will be. But immediately after the tribulations of these days, at the exact moment, immediately after the tribulation from those that have been turned over as living stones, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of heaven will be shaken. So this is coming up. We're not here yet. In the literal, everything already took place spiritual. So now what I'm saying is the stars already fell from heaven, but from the sky itself, well, this is the part where miracles, signs, and wonders, fire from heaven in the sight of men to deceive those, because they're going to believe what they're seeing. And the sign of the Son of Man will appear. So can you imagine that being, because the Bible is being played out literally, can you imagine if this sign gets hit over in California next? Just the sign itself getting hit. It's not like it's going to cost so much money, but it's just the sign of it getting hit would mean then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky. So in the airway, on the clouds, in the internet. And then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. That would be one hell of a prediction, because you already seen lightning strike from the east hitting the Georgia Guidestones. At least it's relevant. Jacob Israel has a good point that the light does flash when lightning strikes. However, right before the bomb is set off, they make the street light flash to make it line up with lightning. And even so, if it was lightning, an act of God, well, it's Satan, the god of that God, and he controls the weather anyway, and the lightning and the rain and the sounds and everything. So it still is an act of God, because he's acting like God. It's an act of God. From the east, which is the Georgia Guidestones over in Georgia, east side of the United States. And then there will appear the sign. So that's why I look over at the literal sign in Hollywood, because it's like a star is born. A Hollywood star is birthed from out of nowhere. And then he will set forth his angels with a great trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the sky to the other, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable from the fig tree. When its branches have already become tender and put forth its leaves, you know that summer is near. Summer is now here. So summer being near, you know that, hey, these things are getting ready to take place right now in this summer. So YouTube, when you see when you see all these things, YouTube Nation, recognize that he is near. He's right at the door. Truly, I say to you that this generation right here will not pass away until all these things take place. The way heaven was and the way earth is will pass away, but my words will not pass away. So be ready at any hour. But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone. How are you supposed to know when Christ arises in your heart as the morning star? You don't. Only the Father knows. For the coming of the Son of Man will be just like in the days of Noah. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered an ark. They did not understand until the flood came and took them away. Took them all away. So will the coming of the Son of Man be. There will be two men in one field. One will be taken, one will be left. Two women grinding the mill, one will be left, one will be taken. Therefore, be on alert, for you do not know which day your Lord is coming. So you don't know which day your Lord is coming, but be sure of this, that if the head of the house would have known what time of the night the thief was coming, he would have been on alert and would not have allowed his house to be broken into. So be sure of this, that if the head of the house would have known what time the thief would come, if he would have known that on July 6, 2022, at 4:03 and 33 seconds a.m.,
The Georgia Guidestones in Albert County blew up.
Now they blew up, and the head of those Guidestones.
Prerogative, but there's no reason to take it away from other people that might.
Yeah, there is. There's all the reason to take these stones away.
Crews.
See the head? I promise that there shall not be one stone left standing that shall not be thrown down. That's beautiful. I love how they didn't salvage it. They didn't like carefully take it down. They just knocked it over. So who's the head of that? The head of the house. I'm just wondering, is there a head of that house that had known what time of night the thief was coming? He would have been on alert and would have not allowed his tablets to be broken. But either way, because this already took place too, the ones that have been alert behind the scenes, you already knew that. So that's being one of the wise. For this reason, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming in an hour when you do not think he will. Who, then, is the faithful and sensible slave from his master put in charge of the household to give him their food in proper time, in due season? Blessed is that servant when his master finds him doing so when he comes. Truly I say to you that he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delays his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunkard, the master of that servant will come on a day when he is not expecting him, in an hour which he does not know, and will cut him into pieces.
His company maintains the site, says vandalism has happened before, but never like this.
Obviously. And assign him a place with the hypocrites. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Now, if that was somebody in the government.
So when I say 6, 7, I'm looking at it upside down and backwards. See the 6 goes like that. If you connect it, and then it's round like that. There's your 6, upside down and backwards. The 6 goes like that. But if you lay it down and backwards, because the 7's backwards, now you go like that. Beginning of it, and then around like that to make it a 6. 7. Backwards. Upside down and backwards. Here's the apple. Here's the full apple, and then here's the loop-de-loop. Full apple.
They would have offer and now if that was somebody in the
and then SJD is flowering now. Look, John, I'm flowering. Which is on 7/6, July 6th.
When you rewind it.
Look, Johnny, I'm starting to flower. These are a month and 10 days behind you.
A month and 10 days. And it's already been a month.
What does he say I've got under my house? I'm wondering if it should be, what, first week of June? I put these in first week of June. Was it June the 6th of June?
Yes, it was. June 6th. 30 days behind you. There's 30 days in June. So July 6th is exactly 30 days, which lines up with 7/6, which is right at the exact time that Steve's beginning to flower. 7/6. Georgia Guidestones gets hit on 7/6, and then 10 days behind that. So look for the next strike. Look for the sign to be stricken on, I'd say, July 16th, 2022, the Hollywood sign. 10 days after that, after July 6th, 2022, because it's lightning striking from the east to the west. Strikes of lightning.
Perhaps this wasn't an explosion, but could it have been an act of God? Was it lightning